everyone, and welcome again to Men Behind the Curtain, another edition of our podcast. I am Pitt, and with me is Eli.
How's it going, everybody? Actually, one thing I thought of, because I know for the audience, they're just coming from the intro. When we started talking about that for a quick second, I almost thought about the old riff they used to do on Beavis and Butthead. Dad, 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 dad. I almost thought about doing something like that.
Got a couple in the progress of being put together, so yeah, it's fun. And until I get a band like, Breaking Benjamin, Tool, Rammstein, Alice in Chains, Parma Lee, Fall Out Boy, Lil Nas X, Lil Jon, Lil Wayne, Bare Naked Ladies, whomever, Love Handle, or Robert K. Weiss, somebody, until they decide to do a intro song for us. Well, we're just going to keep coming up with what we do, because
I mean, we could possibly try to take the audio from like when I've done Linkin Park on karaoke. I assume if it's karaoke, I assume that it's it's not copyrighted.
yeah, I would have to look into that. But if Linkin Park wants to make us a intro, that would be great. Talking to you, Shinoda. Talking to you.
Hey, rest in peace, Chester.
Chester, much love to you. I'll see you in Valhalla. So, we're just going to get right to it, and here we go. So we're going to go into the lovely bag here. We're going to pull out the cat's ass, because that's what it is. It's actually modeled off of Archer. You know the gray cat?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Archer.
Wait, is Archer the one that gets on top of your fridge?
Yes, Archer's the one that's always on top of the fridge. He's actually found his way into the pantries, too. He'll go up on the counter, open up the door, and he'll get into the pantry. So, yeah, can you imagine me? I'm trying to come downstairs, get a cup of coffee, reach into the pantry to get my coffee cup out. Cat's sleeping in it, and he's about the same size as this here. So, I have a pretty big coffee cup. So, we're going to go with the word association to start things off here. Let me get one out. And we have, it's folded twice. That's scary. I know the person who writes these out, puts these in there, because she takes suggestions from all over. And if you happen to have a suggestion, you can go ahead and email us at, what is that, Eli? It's
menbehindcurtain@gmail.
menbehindcurtain@gmail.com.
Which also I finally got everything set up. I've got our Spotify working. I've got Spreaker. I did upload to Podbean. I think it'll actually let us upload to iHeart and possibly like Amazon, but I haven't set those up at all.
All right. Oh, perfect time for this. We got the season starting up pro this Thursday, and college just started, what was it, Friday? Saturday? Yesterday? A lot of big games happened. So football season.
Football season honestly always depresses me because now I know that you're more of a Steelers fan, and fuck you for that. So one of my first jobs, it was under the table. The boss there was a Steelers fan, so everybody would like the teams he hates out of spite, and for me it just kind of stuck. I started liking Cleveland. Honestly, this was like their third or fourth season back after like Cleveland raised the money and got their own team, and they got to the wild card game, and I just started liking them at that point. It hasn't panned out very well for me, but and then because of my job, I tried to hate the Bengals. I really did, but I couldn't. They had some really good performances. Like Marvin Lewis did turn them around. He hit his glass ceiling with playoffs, but I feel like people are still kind of hard on him, to be honest.
Well, first I have to apologize to you for being a Cleveland fan. I know some Cleveland fans, great friends of mine, family members and whatnot, and I feel really bad that you guys cannot break out of the playoffs and actually make the big game. So, with that being said, my apologies. It is the mistake on the lake, as we did say in Northeast Ohio. As far as me being a Steelers fan, fuck you. Hometown boys. So I'm going to root for my hometown team. I call Pittsburgh home, and that's what it'll always be. And we at least have 3 professional sports teams that all wear the same colors.
Um, fuck, what was it? Oh yeah. So as far as Cleveland Browns go, I personally blame management because they have shown flashes of talent. The team can play. Their management has no fucking clue what they're doing. And I keep saying that management has watched Major League one too many times because they keep thinking they can throw a ragtag team together and get wins. That doesn't fucking work.
It worked for Moneyball.
Lightning in a bottle.
So football season, normally I get pretty hyped up for it. Not so much this year, only because of the quarterback situation out of my hometown team. You've got great quarterbacks in Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. However, I'm not so sure that we are going to even hit 500 this year. I hope we do at least hit 500. It'd be great for Tomlin, but with a new offensive coordinator coming in and you have a running gun style quarterback and another quarterback that is known for his legs and everything else, we already know that Wilson is going to be starting the season. Tomlin's already came out and said that. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see Justin Fields underneath center come, week 4 or week 5. That all depends on how the offense fires. We're lacking weapons. I can get on a completely different podcast right now and talk about the Steelers if we wanted to, and Roethlisberger is not calling me up to get on his podcast. With that being said, I don't know. I'm looking at some of the teams out there. You got the Jets, who, if Rodgers can stay healthy, actually might be contenders. Or spoilers, for that matter. But what I really am interested in seeing, and you know me, I am by far the least fan of Ohio State. But I want to see C.J. Stroud. I mean, the kid is just phenomenal. I mean, look what he did last season, and look what he's got coming into this season. So I think what's coming out of Houston is going to be really phenomenal to watch. And pretty much fuck Dallas. Fuck Baltimore.
You know what? My brother's a Dallas Cowboys fan, so I'll co-sign that.
But we do love our people in Dallas and Baltimore, so we just don't like your team.
Well, and of course, I mentioned that I'm a Cleveland fan, so I'm like contractually obligated not to like the Ravens.
Yeah, well, they can fuck off. It's just the Ravens. All right, we're going to move on. I don't want to talk more about football because that's an entirely different podcast.
Yeah, that's a rabbit hole we could go down for a while.
Oh, that one there. Oh, shit. Surprised she didn't fold these. She folded this like fucking 6 times. Oh, it's a long one.
God.
Wow. Ways to annoy your spouse. Yes, I wrote this while you played your favorite song, making fun of the Red Hot Chili Pepper song for the 9,437th time. Come Dua Lipa with a peppermint pig, the chalupa's in the refrigerator. If you haven't heard it, you got to listen to it. It's there. I ruined it. We're going to put that up so you can actually follow it to their YouTube and their TikTok.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll even put in I'll even include a link to it because I think it was you who sent me that video.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was what Red Hot Chili Pepper sounds like to people who don't listen to them. And as someone who doesn't listen to them, that was pretty fucking accurate.
Oh, I fucking love it. I fucking love it. I at least once a day. I would love to hear the full song like that. So, I mean.
My favorite one with that, though, was when I think you sent me this one again, what Dua Lipa sounds like to a non-Dua Lipa listener. And I'm not going to lie, it's kind of a guilty pleasure of mine, but even with that being said, it was pretty fucking accurate.
Something about clapping hands a lot.
Yes. But I guess getting back to the actual question, ways to annoy your spouse. I mean, does breathing count?
I have all sorts of ways, and because I know she watches this and she helps out with the podcast as much as she can, I cannot reveal my secrets. It's like a magician's trick. We don't reveal the trick. There are ways. I'm pretty sure what annoys her is probably how I load the dishwasher versus how she loads the dishwasher, which really fucking annoys me. I've stabbed my hand with forks I don't know how many times because she's put them sticking up and not down because they don't get clean if they're down. Or, oh, the spoons are touching. They're not going to get clean. Guess what? They get fucking clean. If you rinse the fucking spoons before you're in the dishwater, babe, they come clean.
Although, one way I used to annoy the fuck out of my wife, like way back when, is she used to hate when I did a drawing impression. She thought it was the creepiest shit in the world.
Well, sometimes I do, Bobby. And his voice is also the same as Skeeter and Gizmo McRae.
As Howie Mandel has stated, one voice, 3 fucking jobs.
Actually, I almost thought you were about to talk shit to Rocco with that voice. He hates that fucking rock.
But no, I mean, there's multiple ways I can annoy her. Honestly, I have to go with Eli on this. Breathing is probably the biggest one. You know, my favorite is that knowing she's in the bathroom taking a shower, and you come in and you fart. And it's one of those, like, you just had eggs, onions, and country fried steak, and you know when you fart in the shower, it's like the hot air molecules kind of blend with the stench and just takes it up an entire new fucking notch. Yeah.
I'm thinking about on Step Brothers when they were in the interview. With
Beef
Seth
stew.
Rogen. Like, I can taste it on my tongue.
So, multiple ways to fuck with our spouses. If you got an idea of how to fuck with your spouse and it's a good one, let us know in the comments, and we will pray to the gods for your safety.
Yeah, I was going to say, hopefully you don't get stabbed while you're doing it, because that would be bad.
All right, into the ass again for another one. That one's sitting right there on the prostate, so we'll take that one out. Next one happens to be, oh, Jesus, it's another fucking long one.
These feel targeted.
Wow. So, which celebrity would you like to see do the bye 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 dance with Deadpool and Wolverine? And my youngest daughter, Cricket, or Winter, as her social media handle goes, her answer is Walker Scoble.
First of all, let me just say, I really wish that it was actually Ryan Reynolds doing the dance. I knew it was one of the stunt doubles. I wish it was Ryan Reynolds, because the idea that he had learned to dance would have been so fucking good. But, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to say Hugh Jackman in the suit, just so they could both be doing it.
And we know he has moves. I mean, you know, we've seen him in Les Mis and whatnot. We know Hugh can move for his age because he's going to be doing it until he's 90.
Honestly, I would like to see, like, I want to say the whole cast, but not really, because most of the cast never wore an accurate suit. Ian McKellen and More Fassbender is probably the only other ones who wore anything close to accurate. Which also, by the way, that really pissed me off when Fox did that, because they teased us. Was it Apocalypse? It was the closing scene. Everybody had like an accurate suit. Like Cyclops had the blue and yellow. Who else was it? I forget. And they even had a Jubilee show up with a yellow coat and everything.
Yeah, God, that's been so long since I've watched that. I don't know. I mean, there are actually several actors and actresses that I would love to see do the bye 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 dance. I would love to see Patrick Stewart, Sir Pat, do this. But I would really love to see him do it in the Charles Xavier character, just miraculously getting up out of the wheelchair and doing like, bye bye bye.
I don't know. The Picard suit would look good too.
Yes, well, yeah, and you know, and seeing actually an entire crew of the next generation of Star Trek doing it would be fun. Michael Dorn is Worf over here going like, I am not a merry man.
Well, have you seen? There's a GIF. They took like 3 of them from Next Generation. They're all. It's fake, obviously. They're not really doing it. But they have them doing fucking Carlton.
Oh, yeah.
Like I fucking love that.
And just because I'm a guy, I would love to see Kat Dennings do it for obvious reasons.
Funny story about that. So, it was somebody that I met online. We were both playing a Marvel game, not the one you've seen me play. It was a different one. And we just kind of we've been friends ever since. Like we added each other on social media and all the shit. But so when I made a comment about Kat Dennings in the first Thor, I just talked about how like I found her character annoying. I still find her character a little bit annoying, although that is kind of the point. But I never made a comment about her appearance because if you remember what she dresses like in Thor, she's very covered up. Hat. She's got a beanie jacket on the whole fucking time. And then I saw her on the red carpet. And I sent my friend a screenshot. I'm like, I retract all of my previous statements. And she's like, I was wondering when you would see this.
She's a very beautiful woman, and she's actually a very talented actress. And I do love when they had brought her into the Marvel television series.
Oh, WandaVision.
On WandaVision, on the crossover. I was first like, why? What is she doing here? But then it kind of, tied in, and it was started making a lot of sense. But I mean, it was a nice comic relief because, as we know, she's mostly a comedic actress, but I mean, she nails pretty much the roles that she is given. She takes them in, makes them her own, and that's why I really like Kat Dennings as a performer.
I will say that by the time WandaVision rolled around, her Darcy, she did grow on it. Like, she didn't change. Like, they didn't change anything about her writing, her performance, or anything like that. But it just kind of grew on me. So by the time WandaVision rolled around, like, cool, I'm on board with this.
Yeah.
I mean, I may have also been wearing rose-colored lenses because I knew what she looked like outside of it, but that's neither here nor there.
And we just pulled out of the orifice our last word association.
You know what? That's going to be our segment name. This word association.
Okay. As we have stated before, that nobody is safe when it comes to Men Behind the Curtain. Everybody is free game. Everybody is a target. Everybody is safe as long as we want to make them safe.
Oh, God.
So, Papa Walls versus JD Sofa Bowman.
Oh, my God. Are we talking about when they had a debate, or are we talking about they actually got into a fist fight?
I'm going to go... Just going to take it from my man Miles. Let's get it on. Celebrity death match.
Shit. Age aside, one of them was actually active military. One of them wasn't. So,
well, one did sit behind a desk.
If it comes to fisticuffs, I really don't like Mr. Bowman's chances. Actually, when it comes to a debate, I don't like Mr. Bowman's chances. And honestly, he is the weirdest, most uncomfortable fucking dude at rallies. When he's talking, he never really looks sure of himself. Like when he did that, when he tried to say that Kamala can go to hell, he really thought about it. He paused right before and he was like, "Should I say it?" And then when he got a crowd reaction, he's so proud of himself.
Did you see where he was on stage at the rally in front of the firefighters and was getting booed constantly because he was speaking about how the Trump-Vance ticket is the most pro-union ticket in the history of presidential candidates? Now, albeit aside, whether you're pro-union or anti-union, that's not the difference. But when you are getting booed by the entire crowd that you're there to speak, to get hyped up, to present your ticket to present your ideals, your policies, and everything like that, and you're getting booed right from the start, That's a problem. In comparison, Waltz went and he met with, firefighters as well, and with great reception, fanfare even. I mean, it just goes back to really looking at how our political system has become a giant fucking joke, especially across the entire world. But it really goes to show you that, we've wanted a third party for so long that I actually think we got one. We now have Democrats, Republicans, and we got whatever the fuck this Trump shit is.
Yeah.
So there's our third party. Unfortunately, it's not the third party that we've all wanted.
It's not, but that it might actually be. It might be effective because those are like hella right. So if people want to try to distance themselves from them, they're going to have to move closer to center. So no, it's not third party in a way that I wanted it to be, but it may still accomplish the same goal.
Yeah. My thing is, you can talk about policies and everything all you want, and that's what they should be doing. It's like, look, I see where they're going with their policy and whatnot. It's like, however, this is what's going to be what I feel is going to be the downfall of it, and this is why mine's better. That's what the whole thing's supposed to be, not about, a game of whose dick is bigger. And I'm sure it's Kamala's.
Actually, it's funny. So I mentioned to you before that Helsing Abridged.
Yeah.
There's one time. Did you watch the video I sent you?
I did.
I think it's in that clip that I showed you. If it's not in episode 3, it's in episode 4. But some dude is actually having a pissing match with Integra, and Alucard just chimes in, "You're having a dick measuring contest with a woman. You were born with the world's worst handicap."
All right, that's going to enter word association for this episode. However, I do want to circle back on something. So Eli and I were doing a couple voices here and there. Just stuff that we randomly do, and it's probably shit that we do walking around our fucking house because that's the only way to occupy us. However, what you may not know is we are both voice actors as well, and currently we are working on a audio drama called The Black Raven Chronicles, written by Jonathan Miller. Would you like to speak about that, Eli?
Yeah. So this is a noir style story. If you're trying, when he says audio drama, if you're trying to paint a picture in your head, just think like way back when, when they first did War of the Worlds, it was a story on the radio. That's how they used to tell stories before TV was a thing. So you take that same format and move it to 2024, that's going to be podcast and streaming. So, of course, Spotify, Spreaker, I mentioned earlier, those kind of platforms. So this is how it's actually going to be released. Now, this is a little bit of real world. It's also a little bit of supernatural because there are vampires, there are angels and demons. I get to play a mob boss, and it's fucking fun. Oh, have you read the script of episode 8 yet?
I have.
Did you see the opening scene?
Yes, I did. I'm waiting to do the table to read to see how you pull off both characters back to back.
I did in episode 2. Well, you weren't there for that. I think I did a little bit in 3 though, because I remember switching back and forth between. So the character that I'm doing. So I have, and you got what you may have seen in the first episode, that white fedora. I didn't buy it for that purpose, but it works for that purpose.
He bought it for that purpose.
I get to actually hang on, get my cigar for this because it's more fitting. I'm playing Leslie Simon, but my friends call me Shuckles. Actually, for that matter, I only allow people to call me Shuckles. They do not call me Leslie. I own the Harbor Club, but Black Raven City is my city. And the other one I play is his bodyguard, Frank. Frank is a little bit different. I had to workshop that voice around a little bit, but I came up with a pretty decent one, which I'm not going to give that one away now. Y'all have to check that out, which I have actually been plugging it on my personal TikTok, by the way. So for anybody watching this, if you don't already follow me, check me out. And I've done a couple of things. So just have a look-see. But actually, me and your characters are going to be a little bit at odds there.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to this. Because I'm thinking they have a little bit of a history between the two of them. Always wanting something. But no, I feel they might have a history that might go back a little bit. And I'm waiting for the point where my character gets to come out and go, Leslie, you gotta understand, this is not your town. This is my town. So it's gonna be interesting. So I actually do the voice of Sergeant Klein. He is a 27-year police vet at the Black Raven Police Department. His daughter happens to be a detective on this police department as well, and I do a couple of smaller voice characters and some sound effects as well. So it's going to be very interesting. We'll keep plugging that away as we get closer to release and as every new episode and season happens to come out. So once again, that is the Black Raven Chronicles. We'll put the information down below so you can check out and keep up with that. So,
And also the guy who is writing / directing it, he mentioned Jonathan Miller. He also goes by Jonathan Phoenix or the Carolina Storyteller. He does have a storytelling podcast on Spotify. I've looked a few of them up, and some of them are actually pretty good. He does do a lot of, some of them are personal stories, some of them are local legends. He's in Charleston, South Carolina. I'm pretty sure he's not going to say that. So I do recommend checking him out. I also do know he's got a couple of books out. The one I was particularly proud of. So our co-director, Jackie Burns, and she also actually kind of helped me get that voice for Chuckles. She's done a little bit more marketing than the rest of us. Well, one of her videos, she mentions my character. She is actually sending somebody to me for protection. And then I stitched it. I made a video. I was actually really proud of myself for how that turned out. Although, when I look back on it, the kid, I'll give you guys the short version of it. The kid is supposed to be coming to me for help. He's pissed off other criminals and he needs protection. I spend 2 minutes threatening the kid, and at the end of the video, well, I start, yes, I can help you. Then I go for 2 minutes threatening him, and then I end the video like, so do we have a deal? Which, like, probably should have thrown a couple of perks in there. But you know what? I regret nothing.
So both these individuals got some great content on their TikToks, on their own personal websites and whatnot. We will put the information in there for them. You can go check them out. Very good stuff, great people, and just love working with them.
Yeah, I will say Jackie does like to be a little bit over the top sometimes.
What?
Jackie has literally no fucking chill whatsoever.
Not Jackie.
But I know she also does. She has some of these up on YouTube. She has a playlist too, so we'll try to add that as well.
Yeah. So very good. Remember, Black Raven Chronicles. We'll give you all the information you need.
The first episode should be coming out in December, I believe December 1st. But we'll make sure when we publish this.
Oh, so I saw the other day, because you're always talking about God of War and whatnot, how I got to do this and do that. Have you saw that not only is October 31st Sam Hain, you know, it's basically my Christmas. Dragon Age Veilguard is dropping.
No.
10 years. It's been almost a decade since they've been trying to release the next, episode in the saga. They're finally releasing Dragon Age Veilguard.
I have heard. I have a lot of friends who are into that franchise, and I've heard a lot about them. They've been waiting on another. So, I'm sure that they probably knew that already, but I'll make sure.
Well, if they tune in, they will definitely know now.
I know I've been trying to share this a little bit.
Like, subscribe.
Yes, please. We appreciate it. The one that I've been looking for. So, I mentioned to you, but I didn't actually say anything here. But I have actually been playing a little bit on Twitch. It's not something I'm trying to do as like a business venture. I'm playing anyway, and I'm just like, if anyone wants to come out, come hang out. Which, by the way, I guess I'll drop a link to it. But, so, I've been replaying God of War, but now that today is September 1st, right?
Yes, it is.
So we are. I would say we're officially in spooky season. So I'm thinking about playing Resident Evil on Twitch.
He says September 1st, and this is dropping on Friday, which is September 6th.
Yeah. Anyway, but I'm thinking about actually playing Resident Evil on Twitch. I have the remastered 1, 2. I actually have 1 through 6. I don't know which ones were actually remastered and released. I know 1, 2, and 3 were. I don't know about 4, 5, and 6. But I'm like, this will be a fitting game to play. But God, those games can be fucking anxiety. They really do.
Oh yeah. I remember playing the first two, and the first one, God, was that intense. I mean, you at that time we had cutting edge graphics, that you never see. Yeah, and I say cutting edge because now I see shit like, are those real people?
So for you youngins, when we say cutting edge graphics, when I was first introduced to Tomb Raider, she looked like this. That was Lara Croft. But here's what's wild is that so a friend of mine, they were the ones playing it. So apparently, if you zoomed in the camera angle like really fast, it would like almost quote unquote go through her and come out on the other side. He got good at pausing it right on her ass.
I had fun playing the Tomb Raider games, particularly when it first hit the very first PlayStation. And then you had to do like up, down, side, A, B, A, and you would do this weird somersault, and it was just a phenomenal game. I mean, I don't know what engine they use, but man, I'm sure it gave birth to a lot of other engines that we now see in gameplay.
Come to think of it, Tomb Raider might actually be one of, if not the first, video game to movie adaptation that was actually somewhat taken seriously.
Yeah.
Because I think that came out before Resident Evil, which I enjoyed the first Resident Evil movie, even though Mila Jovovich, her character is completely made up. She's not in the games. But she was a great addition. Alice was a great character. Even though they never named her as Alice in the first movie. They never name dropped her. Not sure if they did in the second one either.
I don't think they did.
I never saw anything after the second movie, but what I understand is I didn't miss much.
I've seen them all. You didn't miss much.
I meant to watch the reboot movie that came out a couple years ago, Welcome to Raccoon City. I have seen there's an animated, they called it anime, it's not anime, but it's an animated show on Netflix. I forget what it is. It takes place like 4 or 5 years after Resident Evil 2. Leon Kennedy is now Secret Service and working in the White House. If you haven't seen it, it's a great fucking show. I loved it. It picks back up with Claire and Leon like 5 years later. They actually beat the T-Virus, but of course it gets released because of course it does. Did you happen to watch the show that came out like 2 years ago?
I did not. I take that back. I started watching it and I got busy doing something else and never got back to it.
I didn't hate it. It didn't get a lot of love, and they did cancel it. There were some people who didn't like it. I didn't. There's one part we get a really cool scene. Lance Reddick, fucking love Lance Reddick. I'm so sad he's gone. But his character, he's playing Wesker. And did you watch Archer?
No. My cat's named after Jonathan Archer of the USS Enterprise NX-01 and the very first president of the Federation of Planets.
So
yes, I also am a Star Trek geek.
So for those of you who watched Archer, the animated show, you know how Krieger has a bunch of he's a fucking duplicate. He's got a bunch of doubles. Well, apparently Wesker does. And there's a scene in the show where Lance Reddick he's playing like 4 or 5 roles all at once. And one of them looked like fucking Blade with a haircut and everything. It was a weird scene, but it was a fun scene. Um, I think I think he did the same thing as what you see in the Resident Evil 2, where he developed the T virus to help. Those are his adopted daughters in the TV show. Um, but I think he developed it to help them, and of course, it just morphed. Which, come to think of it, was that Wesker in 2 in the wheelchair or on the cane?
You're asking me to go back, like way back.
Well, I thought of it because I just remember that actor. I can't remember his name, but I'm pretty sure he was Moriarty in the second Holmes, Robert Downey Jr.'s.
Okay. Yeah, I can't think of his name, and I'm sure it'll pop up at the bottom at some point because our producer will remind us. But yeah, no, he's a great. It's sad because he's a great actor, and I love him, and I can't remember his name, and that's unusual for me.
I'm pretty sure that's the same guy. I hear his voice, and I'm pretty sure it's the same guy. But yeah, I remember I recorded my reaction. I was watching Resident Evil way back when, and I'm just looking at my live reaction. I just went from episode 1 to episode 2, and one girl, like, they actually got attacked by a couple of dogs who were infected with the T virus, and episode 1 ends. Old girl is dead, not like dead, not breathing, no fucking pulse. And then episode 2, like, no. Of course, I think she had T virus in her, and that's why. But like,
So, since we mentioned things that drop, have you seen any of the first 3 episodes of the second season to Rings of Power?
I watched 1. Did I watch 2? I don't know if I saw the second episode or not, but I'm really conflicted with what they're doing with the show. I'm kind of okay. Part of me is okay with them changing the timeline and changing certain facts. Part of me is not, because I'm like, the Elven Rings were the last to be made, not the first. I'm a little bit easier to please though. And the reason I say that is I came into the show when they announced it. I came in day 1, I wanted 2 things. I wanted to see the Balrog wake up and destroy Khazad-dûm, Moria, and I wanted to see the Drowning. And based on the first season, we are 100% getting those 2 things. Additionally, I realize that Mordor is much, much older. Melkor or Morgoth, I believe, is the one who created Mordor. But that fucking scene where they made the volcano blow, that was an awesome fucking scene.
Yeah. For what it's worth, I'm enjoying it. It's good. As a writer, there are things that I would have done differently, which is why I haven't sold as many books as Tolkien has, or anybody who's writing on the show. But it's good. My thing is, if you know anything of the history of the characters, with Galadriel being, Arwen's grandmother, who Arwen is Elrond's daughter. Right now, there's a strained relationship between the two, and we obviously are going to have to see them reconcile at some point, just because of how the story goes with the movies and whatnot and everything leading up to it. But I was a little upset because there was a few things that just seemed a little out of character for both of them, and there might be a good reason as to why. So I have yet to see that. Hopefully that comes out as the series progresses.
The one thing that I'm really questioning right now, and I'm really hoping that they close the loop on this, is while the movies never did a good job of showing it, Elrond does carry one of the Elven Rings. And for him to carry one of the rings, however, he is, at this point in time in Rings of Power, he's vehemently against them existing. So they have to bridge that gap. How does he go from hating them to carrying? They have to bridge that gap.
No, absolutely.
And I'm waiting on them to actually fucking name Gandalf. It's Gandalf. Like, he's still the stranger.
Could be Radagast.
Radagast doesn't have a fluency with fire the way that Gandalf does.
True. But we're talking about the Aesir. That's what they're called, the Aesir, Aesters,
Starry.
Astari. So there's more than one Astari that comes down. At some point.
Actually, I think we are supposed to get the Blue Wizards in this. The ones who they never fucking name dropped. I think Gandalf himself forgot their names.
Right now, I'm just trying to find out who the people are with the really fucked up helmets are. I want to say they're like early Easterlings, but
they are because they're in Rune. Rune.
Okay, so there we go. I nailed it. They're Easterlings.
Which actually, I will say that is one thing I'm really curious to see because since only the Elven rings have been forged, that means that we have to get the Dwarven and the rings for men. And in Tolkien's lore, he's only named 2, maybe 3 men who had the rings. So that means that the other 6 or 7 are a total mystery. So the show has complete creative license to do whatever they want with these guys.
However, I do think we were introduced to the Witch King.
Which one?
Of Barad-dûr, the one that stabs Frodo on Weathertop.
No. I know which one is the Witch King. I mean, which character do you think is on the show?
Let's see. Dark hair, really good beard. I can't remember the character's name.
Wait. Are you talking about the guy in Numenor?
Yes.
Al-Farazon.
Okay.
He is the one, honestly, it would track. In Tolkien lore, Al-Farazon is the one who basically got Numenor destroyed. That's actually another bridge that they need to gap because I said that backwards, but whatever.
Yeah.
But that's another gap they need to fill in because Sauron is supposed to be a prisoner in Numenor. He goes from prisoner up to advisor, and he's the one who kind of steers the ship down that path. And the way the show is going, I don't think that's going to happen.
It's possible, but the only reason I bring it up, and not trying to give spoilers here, but there's a scene where that character, he holds up a sword, like going, just holds it up, and it looks identical to the one that stabs Frodo on Weathertop.
Was it in this season or last season?
It's in this season.
I don't think I saw that episode yet.
It's episode 3.
I'm
not trying to give you spoilers, but man, it was like, because if I'm right, I'm just gonna probably nut all over the screen.
There's no way that was an accident. There's no fucking way that was an accident. Yeah. Actually, speaking of which, I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole, but so I'm assuming you've watched all of season 2 House of Dragon.
Yes, I have. The longest setup to nothing.
Am I tripping, or did they never actually acknowledge that what's his name's knife is the same fucking one that Tyrion and Baelish had?
Acknowledged? No. Fans noticed? Yes.
Yeah, because I saw the design, which is a very, very specific design, and I did the DiCaprio meme, just but I never heard anybody name it. I tried to Google it to make sure that I wasn't losing it, and I couldn't find anything. But yeah.
Yeah, same dagger. I think anybody who's watched Game of Thrones and then House of the Dragon noticed what dagger it was. I mean, it's probably the most infamous dagger in, television cinema. At least within the last 2 decades.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, again, that can't be a coincidence. And that particular one makes sense because that dagger is Valyrian steel. And of course, Targaryens, they just came, they didn't just come to power, but they're still young, quote unquote, as a dynasty.
Yeah, well, I'm a little upset that, you introduced this, House Stark at the beginning of season 2, and then really don't get much of House Stark, and you just start now getting introduced to the Lannisters, and it's like, but you're only going like 3 seasons, 4 seasons at most, and you're only doing 8 fucking episodes. I'm never going to get off that fucking soapbox.
Yeah, because this is probably a conversation for a next episode, but I know I just finished Umbrella Academy.
Huh.
I don't hate it 100%, but it was only 6 episodes. And just 2 more episodes, and the story could have breathed so much better.
Yeah, and when in our very first episode, we were discussing that, and I was getting pissed off because 3 episodes in, not realizing that there was only fucking 6 episodes. I was halfway through the fucking season. Was like, you got to be fucking kidding.
Also, the show kind of glosses over the fact that Hargreaves was the fucking villain all along.
Yeah,
And actually, you know what? Hang on. I'm gonna show
shit.
you. No, I'm gonna show you another picture here. I'm gonna send this to you so we can post it in video, just like we did last time.
All right.
But does this guy? So his name is another wrestler, Ilya Dragunov.
Oh shit.
Does he or does he not look like fucking Hargreaves?
If Hargreaves was on a keto diet and working out 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, his entire life. But yes, he does fucking look like Hargreaves.
But the only thing that I will say is that the way the show ended, and I'm not going to say this as a spoiler for anybody who has not watched it, but considering that every fucking timeline the Hargreaves are in, the whole world gets ended, the way the show ends did make sense. I just wish they went about it a little bit differently, or they went maybe the long way around about it, because like it there were a couple of plot lines that just what the fuck did they do that with 5 and Final Four? What was the point?
No, drama. They create like some kind of conflict within the family, like usual.
Yeah, it was dumb. And then this whole thing, like I don't want to say too much because I don't want to get too many spoilers, but them trying to convince Lila to go along with the plan should have been a whole fucking episode, not 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That actually would have been a really good episode. But no.
No. But, here we go. Lazy writing. They want to finish stuff up with it as cheaply as possible, so that's what we get. If you want to, I'll write an episode. Eli will write an episode. Our friend John will write an episode. I'm sure I can find many people who can write an episode, willing to write an episode, and probably do it for just base pay.
Hell, some people would do it just for a writing credit.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That is. We have a live studio audience today.
So, I guess one thing, if you want, we can do another fucking live scroll with Truth here.
Yeah, we got about 5 minutes left. We can do another roll.
So, I meant to follow a couple, some more fun accounts, and I just kind of didn't get around to it. But we're just going to go through the FYP, and we're just going to see what happens here. So let me put that on Do Not Disturb so that I don't get any alerts. And let me go ahead and screen record. I'm going to try to keep this shorter than 4 minutes this time. So we're just going to scroll through and see see what happens. So this first one, it's just Trump posing as some dude. I don't even know what the fuck. This is on the following page. Let me go to the 40. God, this kind of thing really makes me. It almost makes me respect Romney. It really does. Like, don't get me wrong, he's done some terrible shit, but this kind of makes me like he's been railing on this dude for like what fucking almost 10 years now, and
Yeah.
I kind of want to fist bump him for it.
No, it's every time I think of Romney, I think of the epic rap battles of history. Where's Romney versus Obama?
I swear to God, the best one ever, of course, had to be Key and Peele. Was fucking MLK versus Gandhi. That was so fucking good. And you know what? I bet they both wrote their lines themselves.
Oh, absolutely.
I bet they did. So, let's see. Trump saying he will vote no on Amendment 4 in Florida. I don't know what the fucking 4 is.
It's in Florida.
Yeah, I assume it's something fucking heinous. But he's talking about Roe v. Wade, so that tells me it's something in that vein. Why are you showing me a fucking ad for dream symbols? That's weird.
Oh, well, it's Truth Social. I mean, that's probably where he met Stormy Daniels.
I mean, if we're going that route, then I'm waiting on a couch ad. What? Gold Star families lash out at Kamala over Trump remarks? I don't even know what she said. I know that what he said was shit.
I'm waiting for one that comes up. It's like, used couch. Slightly used. Some stains.
Is it going to be the casting couch? Oh, God, I don't even know if I could say, I know that YouTube and Spotify is they're pretty loose with their restrictions, but if I say what I want to say, I'm sure they might even get they might not.
Fucking say it anyway.
I mean, I'm just, look, considering he already has his couch proclivities, yeah, he either has a copy of the casting couch, or he has a picture of that over his bed, or something like, that is spank bank material for him.
Oh, I got a new Ethan Allen catalog.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I bet he's not even allowed at Ashley Furniture. All right. So what the fuck is this? They're saying something about Kamala trying to copy Trump again about something. I don't know what it's we're gonna, that's not very fun. Automakers walking back diversity policies. Yeah, okay, whatever. Oh, Ford Motors. Well, go figure. It's fucking Ford.
Yeah.
You know anything about Henry Ford, then I expect as much. Speaking of which, I still want to fight that man. I want to exhume his corpse and beat his ass.
There's gonna be not much left of it, but okay.
Look, here's the reason we work fucking 40 hours a week.
5 days a week.
Let's see. Civilian security, that looks dumb. Somebody took something for a hummingbird. Oh, wow, something positive on Truth Social. How about that? Jesus. Oh, true. That's out of fucking pocket.
Wow.
Yeah, I got no words for that one. That's definitely. You know what? I should follow this account. 'Cause that is QAnon. Oh, that's a group. All right. Fuck, that's already 4 minutes right there. I'm just gonna stop because otherwise this may be a pain in the ass for me to send.
No, I'm sure we could spend hours with Truth Social. So
I still gotta find some more accounts that'll be fun. But
absolutely,
yeah, some of those are fucking wild. I know MSNBC had a pretty good video about that because with the whole thing with Arlington.
Yeah.
He tried his. Did you see that clip?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He tried his hardest to say that it was somebody else's fault. It was like, no, it was your account who posted the video. They set us up. Maybe this administration. Bitch,
I've
what?
got tiny hands. I couldn't push back anybody.
But
he was dodging questions on that so fucking hard.
Oh, well, that's his MO.
This was more than usual, though. At least he did. What I saw, he did not attack the reporter this time. It looked like he was on the verge of it.
That's when the cameras were rolling. We have nothing of what happened when the cameras were turned off.
I inhaled that on accident. It's a habit. It's a knee-jerk reaction.
Hashtag don't inhale.
Not inhale. Right.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us again. As you know, this is Men Behind the Curtain, and we will see you next time. Take care.
Take it easy. Thanks for watching, guys.